if you want to say that. Okay, we are live. So, did you want to make a big announcement, Vanessa?
Announcement.
Go ahead.
So I am now a new member of the team at Adventure Yacht Sales with Terry Ivins, and I believe there's 3 or 4 others. I haven't met everybody yet, but still here in Key West, still here in the Keys. Can go all the way up to the Eastern Seaboard now, but get to put some different kinds of listings out. My specialty is always in catamarans. It's in ocean cruising sailboats and powerboats.
Yep. Yeah, that's impressive.
New ventures, Adventure Yacht Sales.
Okay, so and we'll put the contact up because there's people that watch this channel. There's nobody watching at this moment, but we are live. But people will be watching in the replay. So
have the same phone number 305-680-9986. Love to help you out finding or selling a boat anywhere here in the Keys. That's the easiest thing. I don't like to step on anybody else's toes in the company. So, or if you know me, or any ocean cruising boats, any catamarans, anything like that, happy to help out.
All right, what's your number again?
305-680-9986.
And what's that email again?
It's my new email is vanessa@adventureyachtsales.com or
okay, slow down. Vanessa
@adventureyachtsales.com.
Adventure Sales. Say SALES.
SALES. It's Adventure Yacht Sales.
I should have had this up already. Yacht Sales.
Or always at Cassie, CASSIEKW @AOL.com. For those oldies.
We're putting it up like this. Vanessa @adventureyachtsales.com. Okay. Got that out of the way. You're very qualified. You I know you can sell any boat, but sailing is your love. You live on a sailboat. You live on a sailboat in Key West. You sold a lot of sailboats. You sailed all around. You got a lot of experience, and you help me all the time. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I'd like to help everybody. Everybody gets around there safely and keeps the slippery side down. Most important.
That's very important.
Days out the weather, butts kicked across the Gulf.
So let's talk about my new toy. And I want to bring this video up so you can comment on it. It's the video I put up this morning. Did you watch it? Not yet. Okay, here it is. It's just it's not that long.
All right. Yep. That's it. You can move it back and forth.
Let me back it up. So that's the device.
All right. Yep. That's it. You can move it back and forth.
That's more robust, right?
Yep. It does. You can see as it pivots against the wall and all. See it underneath there. And then this pin here, you can pull in the event that you ever had an actuator seize or a failure for it, drop it off of the link and your steering's still attached up here. This is your Nemo 2000 backbone.
All right, we'll come back to that.
Now,
so what do you think?
I think it's beautiful, but there's three things I want to add.
Okay.
More important, if your actuator ever seizes, but with your actuator doesn't seize and you lose your steering arm, you break your cables, either or, depending on what kind of steering you've got. You can always use your autopilot this way as a backup. You're not incapacitated anymore.
Okay.
So you can always have your autopilot on, even to get all the way into the dock and dock the boat if that's what's happening. But if you ever end up breaking your cables, or you end up breaking your hydraulic arm, if you have a problem with an arm or something happens with that, lose all your fluid, you can use your autopilot now as a backup. You can't touch it. You're going to be pushing the buttons.
So you think that's going to be I think you told me yesterday that it's probably going to change my life.
It's going to be a game. Yeah. You know, one of the things that I learned, I've sailed halfway around the world on my own on a 42-foot full keel with a cutaway 29-ton boat with a barn door rudder. which is a monster to steer, especially in storms, unless you're not having any problems with your hydraulics. Well, we know hydraulics get bubbles in them every once in a while. Things can happen. And the very first thing that I learned from a couple of old farts that were fabulous old farts, a couple of them still around.
You mean the people that are our age? That
No.
were
No.
older than us?
Yeah. Actually, there's a guy that I met a long time ago by the name of Robin Knox Johnston.
Oh my gosh. No, you're just name dropping now. You're just showing
No,
off.
I'm serious. Well, the very first thing, I was talking to him about single handing because he'd had a good record behind it. And I had the pleasure of getting to meet him in my team.
Can you please is he still alive, right?
He is. He's doing the Golden Globe race, and he's one of the official members of the committee and stuff now.
Well, I want to interview him. Is that possible? Is that royalty?
He doesn't do interviews.
He doesn't?
He's associated with his Golden Globe race. You got to talk to him in person. You got to stand there right in front of him in England. He's up there. He's in his 80s now, but his hearing's not so
well, let's go. Well, I'll go to England. Yeah, let's.
He's in the middle of doing the mini sat and the Golden Globe race right now.
Is he gonna do the race?
No.
He's on the committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
2026.
One of the things that he taught me a long time ago when I was oohing and eyeing and goo-gooing and guying in my team about single-handers was that the one thing that you always have to have on the boat, no matter what it's going to be, that's going to be good for you is your autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I've told you that before.
Well, I know it because from experience. You didn't have to tell me that.
But having an overly robust autopilot for the kind of boat that you have is what's most important. You've got a big rudder. You've got to have an autopilot that's going to suit it, but you also think about it as a backup. You also think about it as, okay, I want to get a little bit of sleep. I have to in order to stay healthy. What's going to keep my boat going other than a couple of bungee cords and a little old wheel pilot? Well,
oh, I was very creative on how I couldn't get it to stay just more than a couple of minutes.
Another drive on.
I had lines attached to it so I could at least, kind of go like this with the lines rather than. And it was still terrible. It was terrible.
You can fix a block and tackle system. It's really difficult to do under your engine unless you got some sail area that's up. And you've got to put some sail area up. I'd say a double reef main, and actually, no matter what, keep your engine at an RPM where it's balanced, but it's not about making time. It's about staying balanced.
Right.
And paying attention to what's going on with your wind direction. And you can balance them out. But one of the easiest things I've seen is with a block and tackle system on either side of the wheel that you can sit there and adjust. That's a 2-to-1 purchase, like you'd find on a small boom vang on a dinghy racer, on a laser, or on a Sunfisher at 420.
Well, here, let me show you the rest of this because then, he had to get in the other locker to get to the backbone. And he was also, I didn't do this on video, but he also replaced my audio. Goose says, Melissa's still intensifying headed northwest. How are you feeling? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if you're talking about my mental state, it is so up and down. 1 minute I think I'm crazy with grief, and then what am I doing? I'm endangering these babies' lives. Look at and next minute I'm like, let's go. So I'm Goose. I am up in Steinhatchee, so I'm pretty safe right here. But what I was going to say is he did replace the Weather XM. I went through all the checkpoints with the checks with Weather XM and Garmin, and it wasn't showing up as a device on my Garmin. So then the subscription was on. We kind of narrowed it down that it's probably that little audio module, that little power module, whatever it's called. And she said, check for the light. Well, I didn't know where it was. I know where it is now. So when this guy came and was going to put this thing on, I told him about that. And he said, well, I just happened to have one of those coming in for another boat, and I ordered 2. I said, perfect, I'll take it. So that he's about to show that here. So let's see.
You're crackling, by the way, on your reception.
Okay, let me turn that off.
Or and 2K is a shortcut word for it, all located right here. This fuse is going to be the fuse to the autopilot pump or actuator that we just installed. As you can see, pull this thing out, got a 40 amp inline right there, and that runs over there to it. Coming over to this way, I'll show you here. That's your Sirius XM, they call it a audio power module. This GMS 10 is going to be the network expansion hub for your Garmin. That is going to run the Marine network. So that's going to control Sirius XM. It's also going to control radar and sonar and a few other things that are on that network. It is a separate network from the NEMA 2000. This is more communications between other systems, and this is more talking amongst the Garmin. The GHP12 ECU, that is the autopilot controller. So it's got a handful of things on it. Obviously power in, which is going to be this larger cord. This is called the CCU, which is going to be the reactor 40. It's basically the compass. This is your drive. So that is the output to the actuator. And then this little guy right underneath there, you can see it, it says feedback. That is going to be the rudder feedback sensor.
And also you tidied up my backbone. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I got it all. That's a lot cleaner than what it was. I mean, it ain't absolutely perfect, but I feel like it's far more doable than what you were.
Yeah, it looks much better.
My name's Wyatt.
And you're with Seahag Marina.
I am.
All right, and you're going to sail someday.
One day.
This is my sailing channel, so go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna
go ahead and declare it.
Yeah, one day soon, before I'm 40. That's the end goal right there.
And he's 29 right now.
Yeah, still young. I'm old the other day though. I didn't like that.
No, it's just starting.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. I can't hear you. There you go.
Yeah, it's
Rise.
it's not a very good connection. That guy was 29 years old. I had no idea. But he wants to sail, and by the time he's 40, he's all. What did you think about what he did? Now, all that stuff was already there in that locker, you know, the Garmin components and everything. But he was I asked him to explain it, and
that was perfect.
Yeah, and then I have the video to go back and look at it, you know.
You got what it all is now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well, you understand how those two networks don't really, you have a hub in the middle, but you've got the Garmin assigned to doing certain tasks. You've got the autopilot and the Ray Marine stuff assigned to doing certain tasks. And it's difficult sometimes to get them to talk to each other, but the way that it's set up right now, they can actually talk to each other. Not all instruments can talk together. If you were to put a system in there, you'd have to have a whole individual network and a whole individual network of everything else. You wouldn't be able to cross-reference a CPU and your information station. One of the things
to explain what he said about this part, it has the instruments talking to each other, and then the backbone works with other systems. I didn't realize that. I thought it was more about them talking to each other on the backbone.
No. So that hub, you got to remember, it's like having two different radio stations, but yet there's one that, oh, by the way, you know, if it's in later on in the afternoon, you can get that one over there.
But they're both Garmin. And so you got the what was it? The GMS 10 or
your autopilot's a Ray Marine.
Right. What? Not the autopilot, the drive.
The drive is a Ray Marine.
Right. Yeah. The autopilot is a Garmin.
Right. So you've got two different
sure.
talking to each other.
Absolutely. I understand that. But the Garmin that was above the controller for the autopilot.
Right.
Explain that one.
So that part is a network.
The GMS 12 or whatever.
You've got the network, and you've got a network set up now for your depth finder, your knot log, actually your apparent wind speed, your apparent wind indicator. All of that stuff and your GPS on your autopilot. Excuse me, GPS and your screen.
Right. Oh, your chart plotter. Yeah.
Yeah, your chart plotter are all a separate system. They're in their own little network. They're in their own little classroom talking to each other.
Okay.
So now you got your autopilot down here in another classroom, and every once in a while the autopilot graduates and wants to come to the other classroom and talk to the Garmin stuff. So that's where
the drive is not Garmin. The autopilot is Garmin.
So I'm referring to the drive as your autopilot.
Okay.
That's what is your autopilot.
Let's leave with
the other is your head. It's just part of the network.
All right, I do want to show. Goose says I sail with 3 Springer Spaniels. And then he also said, glad you got below deck unit. These well pilots are bad news. Next, get a hydrovane. Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that. And
Yeah.
I guess if I was going around the world, that would be something I definitely, because it doesn't use any power, right?
Well, it uses a minute amount of power if you're going to have it hooked up to your autopilot to do anything. But it's essentially a self-steerer for the boat, and it's relative to your conditions. It's having a whole separate rudder. But, you know, the hard part with a hydrovane for you is that you're doing short stints. And so by the time you get it set up until you get super comfortable,
yeah,
you're going to be at your destination already.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm not planning on going across the Atlantic, but you never know.
Yeah, well, it's you know, I think the step that you've made right now is a really, really good one. And there's something I want to tell you about before I forget, but it's really important for maintenance on your autopilot. 2 things. Keep an eye on where that pin comes through that little arm that actually has the actuator hooked up to the bottom with the clip that comes out of there real quick.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to that pin in there. And every once in a while, maybe once a month or after a big long trip, you need to be looking at where that hole goes through that little arm with that pin. Those are
Make
just
sure
similar.
It hasn't worked its way out.
Well, it's going to move up and down a little bit. And when you look at it at the angle that you took a video of it, it's not perfectly right angle.
I saw that.
Yeah. So off of your steering ram, there is a ball right there in a little socket on a joint. A little round joint that then comes up to the arm and then attaches to the top head of that pin.
Yeah, he showed me the pieces before he put them together.
So that little round joint right there has a nylon little sleeve on the very inside of it, and when they're mounted,
saw that. It was yellow.
That little sleeve will wear down. That little sleeve can wear down. If you ever have a situation, just try to remember this, and you're trying to turn your helm, and all of a sudden you can't turn and it's jammed. First thing to do is go right there to that little joint and look at it, and I bet you money that's actually gone sideways a little bit farther than
this right here. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Right there in that little bottom ball there.
The ball up at the top of that pin.
Oh, up there, yeah, at the top.
That top of that pin goes to your rudder arm, and that little joint right there could actually be crooked. So if you ever have your steering jammed, you got to look right there first.
Okay.
But you need to keep that whole thing juicy lubed up with some corrosion block, nothing else.
Okay, corrosion, I got that.
Corrosion block along with that actuator arm. Now, on a couple of boats that I've run, actually, we would look in and see a lot of white powder come up on that pin going in between that little arm. Yeah. Where the pin rides up and down as the boat's moving all the time, and it starts to make the hole a little bit bigger. I took a little cut piece of clear hose, water hose, little thin piece, put it around the edge of the pin so the pin had a nice snug fit in the hole in the arm. Because as it ages and as it works, it's going to start making a bigger hole in that aluminum the way that it's sitting right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Goose says uses 0 power ever. He's talking about the hydrovane.
No
power up. Huh?
Well, that depends on how you set them up.
Well, I guess if you're saying you could hook it up to your autopilot. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right.
With it, but you don't need to unless you're in really heavy seas. It will work then. That's what's cool.
So it's better than a linear drive. So I'm gonna know. And you broke my heart and said I'm gonna have to do the calibration again. Well, it has an automatic. It has a wizard. Should I just go through the wizard?
Go through the wizard, but one of the things that I would suggest when you're initiating an autopilot ever, doesn't matter who the manufacturer is, I found this on 3 of them. If you go out, you're in moderate conditions. You're supposed to have moderate to light conditions tomorrow. As you're going out, spin a couple of circles with that autopilot first before you go anywhere, and you have the autopilot super engaged.
Do a couple circles first.
And you'll see opposite of each other. You know,
Okay.
one direction and then flip it over and then go the other direction. Big circles. And the unit will calibrate itself for your conditions. But when you're doing a circle like that, it has kind of an intrinsic scale in it for light to medium to heavy conditions. And its response time changes. And when you go in a circle, when you're initiating it, it puts it kind of on a mid-level response if you're starting out.
Let me make sure I understand. I need to go ahead and initiate the wizard and then start going in a circle.
Yeah.
A
big circle.
Big circle.
In a clear area, yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll pick up kind of a mid-level so that you'll find that when your autopilot's going and for the first few 100 miles and you get in some heavy conditions, the autopilot won't get confused a little bit and tell you to reset it.
Okay. What if I don't do that when I leave and I do it further down the road?
It's going to be acclimated for lighter conditions, and at some point in time, when the wind picks up and it gets a bit heavier somewhere down the road, your autopilot's going to kind of slow down on you or decide to stop at one point, and it's going to be because you need to recalibrate what your condition level is.
Okay.
Wind heights and wind speed and closeness to the wind and how the boat's riding angle is working for the
I just don't want to take any extra time. I need to make a beeline for Cedar Creek, get there at high tide. Which is about 8 or 9 hours. So Goose, Goose is still talking about the hydro vane here. You can hook up one to a tiller pilot, but the vane uses no power. The tiller pilot does. A monitor a wind vane is easier to hook up to an AP, but why burn? Autopilot. Yeah, good point. Okay, so we're gonna look at this. Come on, add it. Well, it's not adding it. Oh, I have to remove something first. Okay. All right. Look at this. You can look at both the wind. This is the waves. And this is the wind. And they move together. Look at that. So here's where I am. Where am I? Somewhere right here?
Yeah, it looks to be.
Oh, right here. Okay, so this is tomorrow at noon. Pretty mild.
Yeah.
So let's go to that night and let's go down to Cedar Key. It looks a little rough tomorrow night. I wish.
Hang on a minute. I'm pulling up the wind.
My computer is not responding to me.
It's not happy with you.
Yeah. Okay, so, here's Cedar. So we're going to look at, let's see, Sunday night. It'll be anchored right about, good gosh.
I got 14 knots out of the east.
Yeah. For tomorrow night?
Yeah. At Cedar Key.
Yeah, that's not good.
So Monday night, I got 4 knots west.
Goose says you're going to have to do it. Calibration. Yep. Well, I should be able to do it, but I just don't want to do it. So I don't want to take time. I want to get down to the ICW. So when there's a day of not ideal weather, I want to be able to make some progress. That's the thing. So anyway, Cedar Key, that's where I want to anchor, and it's pretty exposed, especially with that wind and the waves coming from this direction.
Well, there's an area off of Cedar Key, though, there that you could tuck up in above the edge of Cedar Key.
Up here? Because this is the anchor spot right here.
So if you there, you could anchor up around the corner on the other side, also up there. You can tuck in, but you got to be careful and read your water coming in there.
Where are you talking about? I'd have to pull up something different. This is not
kind of a. So You can also, on Cedar Key, anchor up off of the edge of...
This one.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
anchor up...
But look at it. 12 knots.
Yeah, but you can anchor up on the northern edge right up there, and you're going to be a little bit protected from those east winds.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still 12 knots.
Keep going up a little bit further.
I can't go up there too much.
Right up there. And the thing is, that thing's not telling you about your breeze and your protection.
Yeah, I guess not.
But 12 knots isn't bad, Tinsley. You'd be fine in that, you know. And if worst case scenario, you know, you get your first anchor down, back down on it, make sure you're set real good with a little bit of extra road.
Yeah.
7 to 1, and then put a second anchor out if you want. You can always do that. Remember that?
No, I know. I'm not worried about myself. I just want it to be nice and peaceful for the cats.
Well, and that's what I'm could have a second anchor out if you wanted to make it really peaceful.
Yeah. I need to get one.
You've only got one anchor? Oh,
I knew you were going to embarrass me.
I didn't know you.
And look, someone gave me a captain's log.
Good on. Bravo.
Well, I do. I save all my receipts in this book right here. You see this book? So there is a track record. It is for me. It is. All right.
Plotted a course on the paper chart yet?
Oh, I know how to do the charts.
I know it's not a matter of knowing how to do them for this trip. Have you done your Rumline course?
No. Come on now. Stop. No, don't embarrass me.
I'm not. It's about safety. You have an moment and your instruments go out and you're able to have a VHF radio and you're able to do a pon-pon or you're able to do a mayday call to the Coast Guard and you don't have electronics because your electronics have had something happen. They've gone
I've had it happen before. And I used the InReach Explorer to navigate.
You would have your position right there in your log that you should be keeping immediately to be able to refer to. This was my last position. Put the time on it, and they can track exactly where you are. And you don't even have to have a time on it. But you put down your time.
I do have.
And you're required to do that with your insurance. I'll shake my finger at you.
Shh. Don't get me in trouble.
No.
Hold the phone.
If you ever have something that happens.
Don't be talking like that. Don't get me in trouble.
Something happened. The very first thing the insurance company and the Coast Guard ask you for is, do you have your log?
So what's this storm going to do?
It's going to pick up our breezes a little bit.
Let's see if
I hate to say, I think it wiped the face off of the.
What do you think happened?
Huh? It's going to hurt.
What do you think is going to happen with that?
I think Jamaica's going to be hurt.
It's going to hurt.
I think they're going to be hurting
Okay.
about. I think Kingston and the amount of time that this thing is going to sit on Kingston is going to be a very painful process. I think there's going to be a lot of damage.
When's it going to hit? Let's see.
They're already having tonight beginning of the effects. It's rolling up.
Is it going to come here? What's going to happen? I haven't even looked at anything. I have to deal with things in little increments. You know, what's in front of me.
So they should be starting to feel the effects around 10 o'clock tonight in Kingston. And,
it's right. I can see it. It's right there.
Yep. And they've had a pretty decent day, but it's going to roll up on top of them. And right now it's predicted that it's going to stay on them. The south side of the island come right up in the middle of the island. Tuesday morning, go over the top Tuesday and come up over the edge of the tip of Cuba.
I'm gonna pull that up.
Coming right over the Bahamas, in the mid to the south side of the Bahamas, south of Clarenstown. Turks and Caicos are going to get railed right over. And then this is where the anomaly starts happening with this cold front that's coming up north and the jet stream dip down. It's our cold front is what's keeping this off of us. Now our breeze and our north wind and our cold front on Thursday the 30th, as that's rolling out over the Bahamas, is coming over south and central Florida. We're going to have the breezes out of the north for a day and a half before that here in Key West. You're going to have north winds to fly, if you wanted to fly down here with, for a couple of days.
I do.
Which might be kind of a nice trip for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
they're gonna be 15 to 20.
Big storm.
They're gonna be 15 to 20, but they'll be fun.
Look at that.
Yeah. That's a beautiful picture.
Look what Goose wrote. He's on your side.
What's that?
He said if you use Chart Kit, just plot your course right on it. Note your running fix right on the chart. You can transfer the data to your logbook. Vanessa, you get on her, make sure she does it. Uh-oh.
I've been trying, Goose, man. I've been hollering at her.
Don't. You know, I've got a whole bunch of devices that are recording everything.
I'm sorry. Well, that's fine.
No. I shouldn't have said that. Never mind. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, it's just like wop. Okay,
Just,
so
it'll take one time to have a situation where you wish you would have done that.
Well, tell me, the storm's going to go to the Bahamas. What's going to happen in the Bahamas?
They're going to have a rough go. You should be thankful you're not in the Bahamas right now.
I am.
There is a reason why you're not in the Bahamas right now.
Other than costing me money?
Well,
I hear you.
It's not only about costing you money, but if you were in Georgetown now,
I'd be running.
You better be doing something.
Yeah. Wonder what the boats are doing. Have you been on wherever those sites, Vessel Finder or whatever?
I have not actually looked lately because I've been a little bit busy doing some other stuff.
You have a life?
You know, it's the middle of Fantasy Fest right now. Fantasy Fest parade is tonight.
Oh, you're not going to that, are you?
I live in a Fantasy Fest every day of my life.
Yeah. I went once. That's it for me.
All you gotta do is once.
That was it. I saw some things that I can't forget. I can't unsee.
Sometimes that happens.
Some people wear clothes.
Many people should never take their clothes off.
Most people need clothes.
Yeah.
It's not for public consumption.
No. It'll hurt your eyes after a period of time.
Yeah.
So this thing's going to go over the Bahamas, and it's that cold that's really going to let it decide what it's going to do. But it looks like it's going to wind up, stay out at sea. And it's, when it's going over the Bahamas, the problem with the Abacos and some of the other areas are going to be the effects of the water. You got to remember all the way up until the 5th of November, we're in our king tide phase. We're in the highest high tides of the year that we're having during the course of this month, going into the beginning to about the 3rd to the 5th of November. So when you get a high tide and you have a hurricane and you have a surge along with that, even if it's out your back door and not right on you, that can do a lot of damage. And when you've got consistent 10 to 15 foot seas, because the way that this thing's planning on parking for a little bit, we really can't tell how big it's going to be once it crosses over. Over Jamaica there. That's yet to be determined.
So it's going to be a 1, a 4, a 5, a 4, a 2, and then a 1. But it's going out to sea. But I guess it gets cold up there.
It's going altitude, providing that cold front is big enough to keep moving it out of the way, which it looks like it is. So, but we're going to have a breezy few days. We're going to have a few breezy days, and we're going to have some high water that's going to come out of it anyway. And remember, we're going to have a gorgeous beaver moon coming up in the beginning of November.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be there at some point in November.
You're going to get here within the next week.
Yeah. As soon as I get to Tarpon Springs, then I can pick up the pace, because even on a real windy day or unappealing day, I can still travel the ICW. But
remember that if you get down, if you decide to take the ICW and you get all the way down to either Marco Island or even to Fort Myers, remember that when you're going to come down here, don't make a beeline straight here. Go farther out west, before you bang your south. And it'll actually be shorter than the beeline.
Well, oh yeah, I know. And I have to go around those shoals, but I'm going to go into Everglades City, going that side. Cabangas. What is that? How do you say it? What's the name of that passage that's right below? Canvas.
Rain fart. Matanzas?
No.
Matanzas is farther north. The passage at Everglades City.
Right below Marco. I had local knowledge on it. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to bring it up. Okay.
Trying to figure out where you're talking about, if you're over a Little Shark River or north of it.
It's right here. You see this right here? It's right here. So you just come out of Marco, come out of here, and then instead of going all the way around Cape Romano, you can come in right here. It has to be a high tide. I've done it. And you come in here. It gets a little sketchy at this. I can't remember exactly where,
Marco,
but
right?
you go right. Yeah, Marco's right here. If I had, it would be shorter if I didn't have such a high mast. You could get under this bridge here, but that bridge is not for me. But see how short it would be to come right here, Goodland. But I got some local knowledge. Where do I always stay? I stay at that marina.
Yeah, you go right in over there, and the one that
Rose Marina.
Yeah, Roses.
Here it is. Yeah.
Where the
so
US.
So I got to go all the way out here, and that believe it or not, it takes about an hour. Yeah. And then you come out here, and then instead of going all the way around Cape Romano, all this mess right here, you can go in right here. And I got that from a local captain that was at the marina. He said, high tide, stay in the markers.
How long?
That's a shortcut right there.
That information.
It takes like 3 or 4 hours of it.
How long ago did you get that?
And then we come in here. Oh, 2023.
Remember that little old hurricane that hit Fort Myers last year?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I would ask again.
Change that.
I would get local. Yeah,
change
I would.
That.
Well, I'll check on it. I'm not going to rule it out.
So, but what are you?
And then the other way.
What are you trying to accomplish?
What's that?
What are you trying to accomplish going?
It takes a lot of. It takes a lot of time off going into here.
Where are you going to go?
To Goodland. I've done it.
Why are you going to Goodland?
This is not a guess. Because I do. Because Key West John meets me there.
Oh.
And he actually wants to skip that. He wants to go to Everglades. I can't seem to find it.
It's farther down,
and
a lot farther down.
and we've done that too.
Keep coming down. Come back over towards to the Gulf. Look for a little Shark River.
Let me just put it in. It wasn't that far away. Here it is. So we go there, Chekhovsky Bay, and then come out. I can't tell by this. Maybe it's right here. Anyway, we're not looking at a chart, so it's hard to tell.
So here's a big thing to think about. If you're going to go all the way back in there instead of going out of Marco, one, it's going to take you longer to get to Key
I've
West.
done it both ways. You know that. You know I've done that. Yeah, I'm going to marathon.
So
I've gone directly to Key West from Fort Captiva. I've gone many times from Marco to Key West, or Marco to Marathon, more than anything. So, and then in 2023, I met John at Goodland, and it really broke the trip up a little more. It wasn't 18 hours. It's more like, 14 hours, whatever. And that was nice. And John loves to go into Everglades City. And it's a tough one. It has a big old tide to it, 3 or 4 knots. And you pull up there, and you got it. I said, I'm not going to do it myself again, because the boat got pulled right out of my hands. So there was a painter that came over there and helped me out. There's no deckhands there. So anyway.
You got to remember a couple of things when you're going in there this year.
Oh, I'm going to get local knowledge.
There was a big, huge hurricane, and it's changed the area right over there. So there's some shallows that come out a little bit further, and I don't know that you're necessarily going to be able to get all the way up there during this king tide. So
I'll be getting knowledge.
The other thing to remember is that the lobster pots are out now, and the stone crab pots will be as well. And there's going to be a lot more stone crab pots closer in, because a lot of the fishermen did put lobster pots out. They couldn't afford to.
A lot of fishermen didn't what?
They didn't put lobster pots out. They waited to be able to put stone crab pots out.
Okay.
So the stone crab pots are going to be plentiful. They're not as easy to see. They're spread out a little bit differently, but they're in a little bit deeper water, 8 to 10 feet. And that's going to go out a little bit further this year than what you've seen before.
Okay.
From the tip all the way back up.
In the meantime, I need to get to Tarpon Springs. So
you're gonna have a good trip now, but
probably gonna be Monday.
You could do it tomorrow. 12 to 14 knots is not bad. That's a pleasant sit. Just put more road out. Make sure you got a good hold on it. Put more road out. Do an 8 or a 10 to 1 purchase.
Let's see.
And see where you are.
Yeah. I'll check it out in the morning.
Yeah, tuck up in the corner up there, and with 14 knots, you're good. Because you've then got the next day where it's relatively calm to do that shot to go from Cedar Key to Tarpon Springs. To go all the way down. Mm-hmm. And the wind is going to be walking around out of the north for you. You couldn't ask for that to be much calmer and do a much better thing.
Right.
It's going to flip to the west real quick, not for very long. And then it's going to come out of the north.
What's that going to do to the waves?
It'll be fine where you are there. Once you're down past Cedar Key, they won't have a chance to build up yet.
Okay.
So it's the second day when the breeze starts building more, after Tuesday, when those seas are going to pick up some. But they're going to be pushing you. You're going to be going downwind by that time. And you're going to be going with them. That could be a lot of fun. Because you're still not talking, you're still talking less than 20. You're not talking about 20. 18 to 20 until
Wednesday?
Wednesday night, Thursday morning, early.
Yeah.
Right over there. So that's why you've got some good running time there and some light stuff. Keep the kiddies happy.
Yeah.
On,
So I called a captain in Cedar Key, and it was a woman, and she was a racer and everything before. She runs a couple of commercial boats. They're not sailboats, but she has a sailing background. And I asked her about the channel, and she said, "You'll be fine. You'll be fine on that channel." And I'll be coming in at high tide. But I don't even think it was that important, that it's exact high tide or anything.
No, not at Cedar Key.
I looked at Swanee, and that was a no-go.
Yeah.
Be nice to be tucked up in there, but
there's a lot of things that are different over there now that still.
I lost her. Woohoo. Yoo-hoo. She's gone. Oh, well. I guess we're about done. So, I don't know. I'll probably, I'll look at leaving tomorrow, but I'll probably do it Monday. But anyway, that's it. It's just us, Gavin and Vanessa lecturing me. She's got good suggestions. And we'll just go ahead and end it there. Salty Bannon. Let's see. We're out.